Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the December 16th meeting of the Hammonton Board of Education. I'm going to read the Open Public Meeting Statement. The New Jersey Open Public Meetings Law was enacted to ensure the right of the public to have advance notice of and to attend any meetings of public bodies in which their interests might be discussed or acted upon. In accordance with the provisions of this Act, the Hammonton Board of Education has caused notice of this meeting to be published by having the date, time, purpose, and place thereof published in the Hammonton Gazette and the Press of Atlantic City and posted on authorized premises. Roll call.
Mrs. Baronato.
Here.
We'll note in the record that Mrs. Burns is excused. Mr. Koya.
Here.
Mrs. Donio.
Here.
Mrs. Fallon.
Here.
Mrs. Hunter.
Here.
Mrs. Pulea.
Mr. Play.
I'm sorry, I apologize.
How do you identify?
So sorry. Mrs. Scolo.
Here.
And we'll note that Mr. Thomas is excused. Mr. Lyons.
Here.
And the representative, Mr. Donio.
Here. We'll rise for the flag salute. Pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay. All right, before we get started, just a few things. The purpose of this meeting tonight is to fill the board vacancy left by Mr. Scipione, who resigned at the last board meeting. But before we get into that, just a few things. Number one, for the board members, you were emailed a copy of next year's calendar of meetings. We'll look to adopt this at the January 8th reorganization meeting. So if you haven't had a chance to look at it, please do. And if you have a conflict or if there's something that we can maybe work out ahead of time, just reach out to Tom or Terry and we can figure that out. But I just wanted to, they put that in my pile here, so I just want to touch on that. Next, I'm going to welcome our new interim business administrator, Mrs. Terry Weeks. Thank you for being here with us.
Thank you for having me.
Thanks
It's
for
been fun so far.
Right, busy 3 days for you. Certainly. Also, I want to talk, just take a quick moment. It was a very sudden thing prior to our last meeting, but I just ask everybody to think a good thought for and observe a short moment of silence for Cindy McBride, who was a staff member here for many, many years and is the school nurse at the Soy School, and was a really valued member of our staff and lost a valiant fight to cancer recently. So we certainly think of her and her family during a difficult time, and I'll ask everyone to observe a short moment of silence. Thank you. A couple other notes, again, before we get into we'll have public comment and then we'll get into the meeting a bit. It's obviously been a pretty busy 3 days this week here in the school district, starting with weather, snow on Sunday. I want to thank our staff, the buildings and grounds staff and the administration for doing an excellent job to get the parking lots and the facilities ready so that we could open school on time and get everybody here safely. So we're looking forward to hopefully maybe a quiet winter, knock on wood, so they won't have so many of these. But again, folks did a really great job. In fact, they worked so hard that a local dance studio that had rented the Performing Arts Center was able to hold their event, and it was a packed house, and they were very happy to do that. So we certainly thank them. On Monday, as I think some of you are aware, we had the fire department responded to the Hammonton Middle School regarding a potential propane leak. Staff did a great job responding to that quickly. I'll thank the fire department for their diligent work and our maintenance and facility staff for their work, especially in, while it was unfortunate we had to evacuate the building for a time out of an abundance of safety and caution, we were able to get kids back into the gym for a time and then return them to their classrooms a short time later. So we certainly thank them for that. And lastly, it's been a difficult, busy day here in the school district regarding the earlier incident at the high school. A function of the time we live in is that these incidences occur even in a place like Hammonton, which I would level against any other community that we're safer than most. These things don't seem to happen here, but today they did. And so I'll thank the teachers and the students for doing a great job and following procedure, and the Hammonton Police Department and their law enforcement partners as well for the good work that they're doing. I know I took a number of calls from parents, as I'm sure a number of board members did, as well as most of us worrying about our own children. But it is unfortunate to have a situation like this, but also I feel fortunate when the system works and the process works, and we're able to resolve these issues as quickly as we can without disrupting the school day more than we absolutely need to. That said, as we mentioned in Mr. Ramsey's message earlier to parents, if your child is concerned or you have questions as a parent, or if you need anything or need to be supported, reach out to your child's teacher at the lower levels or your building principal, whichever option you choose, and we can make sure that we will provide them with the resources they need moving forward. The issue remains, the incident from today remains under investigation by the Hammonton Police, and updates on that regard will come from them as they are available. So,
Mr. Lyons, if I could thank, as a current student here at Hammonton, I want to thank the police department for showing up so quickly. I mean, it was really comforting to see how quickly they responded to the school, in light of whatever threat or whatever was going on. But it was comforting to see that, so I wanted to thank them.
thank you. Thank you. Okay, we're going to go to public comment first, then we're going to go into the candidate interviews, and then we're going to move on to meetings. So this is the first of two opportunities for the public to be heard. Please approach the microphone, give your name and address for the record. There'll be a second opportunity for public comment toward the end of the meeting as well. All right. Oh, okay, come on up.
Hi, my name is Kristen Wilson. My address is 114 Bachelor Lane in Hammonton. Before I begin my prepared piece, I do want to also echo the sentiments and thank the staff, the police department, everyone for keeping all the kids, including my own, safe. It was a scary day, but thank you very much. Okay. Good evening. My name is Kristen Wilson. I'm a parent of 3 children in the Hammonton School District. On Friday, I received notice of an opportunity to apply for the vacant position on the Board of Education with an application deadline of that same afternoon. Upon further research, I learned that the board provided notice of tonight's meeting approximately 1 month ago, but that notice did not advertise that the board was accepting applications for the vacant position. While notice of the opportunity to apply was recently posted on the district website, the document properties of the notice indicate that the document was created on December 10th. The deadline to apply was 2 days later. This short time period, for me, raised a question about the integrity of a profoundly important process, the selection of a school board member, because that decision is typically made by the 10,000 registered voters of Hammonton. The New Jersey School Boards Association provides best practices for filling vacancies when school board members are in the unique position of substituting their vote for the votes of the public. The NJSBA states, your bylaws will give you the basic minimal procedure you must follow. Keep in mind that the person whom you appoint will have the same roles and responsibilities as any other board member who was put into office by the voters of your municipality. Thus, the search for a successor should be as wide-ranging as possible. Because you are acting tonight instead of 10,000 Hammonton voters, I suggest that this would be an occasion when the board chooses to follow the best practices recommended by the NJSBA rather than the minimum requirements of the bylaws. As set forth by the NJSBA, you want news of this opportunity to reach all sectors of the community. Featuring the notice on your district website is a given. Consider also social media, school newsletters and backpacks, a press release for your local newspaper, and manually tacking up paper postings at the library, post office, senior center, even supermarkets. The New Jersey School Ethics Act states, in our representative form of government, it is essential that the conduct of members of local boards of education hold the respect and confidence of the people. And so I ask you to look at the best practices and reflect upon whether sufficient steps have been taken to ensure public confidence in a process in which you are essentially the vote of the people. Perhaps the fact that only one application was submitted causes you to pause and ask whether the notice and amount of time to apply were sufficient. Ask yourself whether simply posting the notice on the district's Facebook page might have generated or garnered the attention of an additional applicant or two. If you allow this vote to go forward on such a fundamentally important issue without insisting that best practices are followed, how can you assure voters that you acted in a manner that they can trust when you exercised a vote on their behalf? By law, you have 65 days to fill this vacant position. Please consider postponing a vote tonight, extending the date to submit applications, and following the best practices of the NJSBA to provide notice. At the end of the day, you still may have only one candidate, whom I am sure is well qualified to serve, just as her father served well for many years. But at least members of the public who were promised transparency and accountability can have confidence in the process. Thank you for your attention and the opportunity to speak this evening.
Thank you. Anybody else from the public wishing to be heard? Again, you'll have a second opportunity at the end of the meeting. All right. Seeing none, we'll move into the candidate interviews.
If I could make a motion, I'd like to make a motion in light of Ms. Wilson's public comment to postpone and reopen the search. I do agree with what Ms. Wilson said. I think that we didn't officially have the opening until Mr. Scipione resigned on Thursday, the 11th. And I think the perception is that many residents felt like it was not enough time. And I realized that something was posted for the special meeting, but not specifically the opening in the Gazette. Additionally, at the November and the December meeting.
I don't want to
we
interrupt
didn't-
you, Mrs. Donio, but if you want to make your motion on the question, you can comment once the motion is
Oh,
seconded.
sure.
So I'm just saying, but
Yeah.
go ahead and finish. I don't want to interrupt
Okay,
you.
so I'd like to make a motion
Okay.
to postpone. You're right, so I shouldn't.
No, you're fine.
I see what you're saying. I need
It's
a
all good.
second to.
You're fine.
Yeah.
Okay, so the motion is to postpone the process.
Yeah, just give a little bit more time in the effort of
Got it?
transparency.
Okay. Is there a second?
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
Seeing none, we will resume the normal course of business. Okay. All right, Mr. Donio, I will turn this portion of the meeting over to you as you have the questions and you're going to be running the interview process.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Lyons. Good evening, everyone. If I didn't have a chance to say good evening to you personally, good evening to you. We are here to fill a vacancy pursuant to New Jersey statutory law and pursuant to board bylaw. I would note, just for the record, that the vacancy occurs during the term of this board, and even though you have 65 days to do so, when a vacancy occurs during the term of a specific board, it should not wait until another board, because a duly constituted board will be convened at reorganization. The board only lives from reorganization to reorganization. So while you can't fill a vacancy that will occur in the future in this board, a vacancy that occurs at this time should be filled by this board. I would also add, I think everyone understood that at the time of both the school board election and municipal election, there was a very good chance we would have more than one vacancy based on the operation of law because of the provisions with regards to inconsistent interest. And that had been discussed at great length by this Board of Education at its numerous meetings, including but not limited to the meeting immediately subsequent to the November general election, where it was discussed that there would need to be action taken at some time for this board to fill a vacancy that would occur by operation of law, considering that the inconsistent interest. Nonetheless, we're here to fill a vacancy. There are best practices that are recommended. There is no regulation or statutory provision on point. You did advertise, you did accept applications, and you are going to engage in the interview process. That interview process is informal. There's only
Can you just repeat that? So you're saying that we did discuss it at the November meeting, that this vacancy in the process?
if I recall correctly, we did. If I recall correctly, we discussed that we would have to. Now, I'd have to go take a look at the video, or
Yeah.
maybe it was discussed in executive session when I gave some legal advice in that regard as well. But
But that should also have been open public. That wouldn't just
Well, when
have
I
been...
talk to you, it's almost not always
Right,
open public.
right, but I'm saying the public perception is that I don't believe it was discussed
And
in
I-
public.
but
The
I do
opinion,
believe-
it's the perception or the opinion.
Yeah.
Be careful. Don't quote perception with your own opinion.
No, I'm just saying,
you
listen,
can
if we...
have a
if we
position. Yeah.
My only thing is, it just, I think even if we had opened it for a little bit longer and still got one candidate, at least then people would feel that there was a little more transparency. So that's all.
It's okay. I'm just saying
Yeah.
that sorry.
And if I recall as well, one of the things that was the complexity was trying to get the meeting before winter break. That's why we're having this meeting. If I recall, that was part of a very
Yeah, but we also didn't
involved
get...
discussion.
It was, but we also didn't get a confirmation of the December meeting, the 16th meeting, until much, much later. I don't know the exact date, but I know in our committee, in our emails, we didn't get notified of that confirmation until very close to that 16th.
So,
Okay.
continuing?
Yeah.
Okay.
You know.
So, so what will happen is the board will ask questions in public, so that the public has the opportunity to see the questions and hear the answers. Then the board will adjourn into executive session to discuss the merits of any individual candidate. Then the board will convene an open session to take action on the vacancy. And at that point, that individual will have 30 days to do a background check, which is required by law. Now, for board members, you can't get sworn in immediately. You need to have your background check and a criminal history review done by the New Jersey Department of Education. Once that is cleared, then a swearing in can occur. Does anyone have any questions about the process I've outlined? Seeing none? Will you come up? Just introduce yourselves, tell your name to everybody.
Good evening, everybody. Thank you for having me tonight.
Name?
Good evening.
My name is Gemma Girallo. My address is 326 East Orchard Street, Hammonton, New Jersey.
Can you tell us a little bit about your background and what makes you a good fit for the Hammonton Board of Education?
Absolutely. So I'm a former graduate of the Hammonton Public School District. I was class of 2017. Following my graduation, I had the privilege of attending Atlantic Cape Community College, as well as Rutgers University Camden, where I obtained my associate's degree in biomedical science, as well as my bachelor's degree in chemistry, all through the New Jersey STARS program. Following my college graduation, I began working as a professional in a company called Medline. I work in med device sales as well as distribution. So prior to my current
Closer to the
role,
mic.
can you guys hear me?
Pardon me. Yeah, you speak closer to the mic.
Yeah, can you hear me
There
now?
you go.
Sorry, I'm short. There's only so much I can do. Good. Is this better?
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank
Sorry,
you.
guys. All good. So my first role within the company of Medline was working in education for clinicians. I traveled nationwide, anywhere from California, Kentucky, you name it. I worked bedside, both in the operating room to help educate clinicians and speak publicly regarding our products. I've since moved into a different role where I work with distribution and helping hospitals around our area fiscally be responsible, as well as provide them with the best products and care that they can for their patients. I feel that I'm equipped to be on the Hammonton School Board, as I am a more recent graduate who's been in the professional world more recently, seen the changes and adaptations with technology, AI, and all the things coming into play, both in high school and in college, as well as in the professional world. I feel as I would be a benefit to the Hammonton School Board to help take areas of opportunity for improvement, as well as expand upon the areas that provided me a solid foundation to be where I am today.
What is your understanding of the board's role, and what goals would you have as a member of the board?
Great question. So my understanding is that it's the board's responsibility to provide every student with a solid foundational base of education, whether it fits their needs to be continuing on to college, to go into a trade, whatever it may be. It is our responsibility to provide each student with that opportunity. It's also our fiscal responsibility to handle the taxpayers' dollars as responsibly as possible. We want to ensure that every student gets what they need, but we also provide the taxpayers with the affordability to ensure that the local community is provided.
What goals would you have as a member of the board?
The goals that I would have as a member of the board are to continue the great STEM programs that we have here and expand upon the more realistic things. I think a lot of different things is like real life applications as I've seen going through the real world. I see a lot of people my age struggle with student loans and preparing for the future coming out of high school, not knowing what they want, not knowing what to expect. And I think that's something as far as a high school curriculum that we could expand upon. I think as far as early education, I think things like physical activity are amazing for early development. So having a physical area like a gym or maybe a bike path for younger children would be incredibly beneficial. We would also like to see some infrastructure updates. Hammonton is seeing some of the most students that we have ever seen, and we have a larger population here in Hammonton, and we need to make sure we're equipped for that.
You are at a store or at a youth sports event, and a parent comes up to you with a concern regarding their child's teacher and teaching methods. What do you do?
I'm sure this happens to you guys pretty often. I see you guys in the community so much, and it's wonderful how much you serve. I think the best thing you can do is hear the parent's concern, advise them to go to their child's school administration, and start the process that way. As a board member, we're able to continue to follow up with the investigation and make sure that the issue actually gets handled, but advise them to start at the district school level.
Are you able to make the time commitment that is necessary to serve on the Board of Education?
I absolutely am. I'm not known for doing anything half-heartedly, and I wouldn't be up here if I wasn't passionate about what I believe in, and that the students of Hammonton deserve a fabulous education.
Is there anything else you would like this Board of Education to consider?
I'm excited to serve with you all.
That's all I have.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, guys.
All right.
Can I just say something? Can I say something?
Yeah.
As I'm listening and listening to the comments of Mrs. Wilson, and I'm sitting here thinking that people that are involved in politics know that they even have sometimes a struggle to get people to run for mayor, to get people to run for town council. People don't always have the time, the commitment. I have talked to people when there was an opening and they had an interest, and when they serving and applying. I don't think that we've done anything quite different than we have any other year, but how do we get people interested? You know, how do we get people, you know, to sign up? And like I said, there was a point in time also when I myself tried to get Mrs. Wilson to run for school board. And for one reason or another, it's a time commitment, your family, you know, you just can't do it. People just don't want to not volunteer, but you know, you think of your family first, what your commitment is if you have to travel, and your kids in the school. But I think maybe there's something that we can do out there to get people interested. People don't necessarily want to put up with having a really thick skin all the time and being chastised and being, well, you know, you should have done this, you should have done that. But I think it's I really think it's the commitment issue. And I think maybe there's something that we might be able to do to make it more interesting, to say that, yes, you could do this. There were people who were thinking about running because I talked to them and they called me and said they were thinking about running, and then when push came to shove, you know, their kids are in college, they're going to follow them in college if they're playing sports or whatever, or just, you know, having the time to visit. So it's not that people are not interested in thinking about it, it's just, I think it's a commitment thing. And that's all I have to say.
Okay. All right. I'll entertain a motion to go into executive session.
So moved.
Mrs. Bernado.
Second.
Mr. Koya. All in favor?
Aye.
All right. So for those of you in the audience, we're going to adjourn into executive session. I anticipate the board will discuss what it has to discuss, and then we'll come out and take action. Yeah, I got one thing. Brian do his thing. Good? Yeah. We are back in open session. I will entertain a motion to appoint and fill the open seat.
Motion.
Okay, let's get the name. How about you amend your motion to include the name?
Motion to, what are we doing? Fill the seat.
You want to read it in?
Read it in.
Do you need a motion to fill the vacant seat by Gemma Girallo?
I'll make a motion to fill the vacant seat with, and appoint Gemma Girallo.
Mr. Koya first. Second. Mr. Pulia second. Roll call.
More questions first?
I don't hear any. so-
Okay.
Yeah.
Mrs. Baronato?
Yes.
Mr. Koya?
Yes.
Mrs. Donio?
Abstain.
Mrs. Fallon?
Yes.
Mrs. Hunter?
Yes.
Mr. Pulea?
Yes.
Mrs. Scola?
Yes.
Mr. Lyons?
Yes, motion carried. I'll move to the, and congratulations. Mrs. Trella.
Congratulations.
Congratulations.
We'll move to the addendum. We have one item for finance. Since it's just one, I'm going to read it into the record. Resolution 2512R, resolved that the Hammonton Board of Education approve change order number 3 for access controls and cabling in the amount of $6,312.94 for the Early Childhood Center Pre-K expansion project. This will be deducted from the allowance of $200,825, leaving a balance of $194,512.06, and will not increase the overall contract amount. This is regarding change orders 2, 5R, and 6 for the Early Childhood Center Pre-K expansion project. I'll entertain a motion.
Motion.
Mrs. Fallon first.
Second.
Hold on.
It's not 2,
Second.
5R, and 6.
No,
Okay.
it's just change order number
It's
3.
change order number 3.
Oh, I'm sorry.
These are-
This was the other item. I apologize.
Thank you.
Okay,
Sorry.
that's my fault. I read that and I should.
worries.
Okay, so first, second, roll call.
Mrs. Baronato?
Yes.
Mr. Koya?
Yes.
Mrs. Donio?
Yes.
Mrs. Fallon?
Yes.
Mrs. Hunter, you're abstaining, yeah. Mr. Pulea?
No.
Mrs. Scola?
Yes.
And Mr. Lyons?
Yes, motion carried. That takes us to the end of our business for this evening. This is the second opportunity for the public. If anyone wants to wishes to be heard, come up to the podium, give your name and address. Seeing none, I will entertain a motion to adjourn.
Motion?
Mrs. Hunter first. Mrs. Bernardo second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? No? We are adjourned. Thank you, everybody.